Yeah.
Well, that's a shame. Let's see if we can have two monitors to ruffle away eventually, or if Clem is... What is Clem gonna do with all these ESC monitors? I mean, I guess if you want to have a beautiful setup, you need two monitors that are the same, right? That kind of makes the setup perfect. Maybe he just wants to go for the brand new setup at home.
Well, let's see what happens. It's in the bottom left. Fighting for you guys in the chat. So we have another monitor to give away next week. It is Reynor.
And in the left, in the right top side, of course, here on the Eternal Empire, we're looking at the main base of the man who won the first edition of the Xel'Naga Finest, and now he wins the third edition as well. And I'm sure this one felt even better, beating Sarah, of course, in the grand finals. It is Clem. Man, being down 0-2 against Sarah in a grand final and then turning it around, that's gotta feel beyond amazing.
Has anyone ever come back from being 0-2 down against Cyril to win?
I mean, I have to think. I mean, I'm sure that it happened before Sarah became Sarah.
Yeah, but maybe not in like the Cyril era, right?
Sarah, I don't remember Sarah ever being up 2-0 and then losing 3 straight.
Yeah, me neither.
Thinking of like the series that he lost in the past, but reverse sweeps 3 in a row against Sarah? It does not ring any bells to me, and if it doesn't ring any bells, I don't think it really happened.
No, I don't think so either. History being made. So Clem's pretty warmed up, you could say, to play against Reynor. This is crazy, man. These guys, obviously, they play so much lately, and the thing is, every time Clem and Reynor play, it's amazing, amazing games.
Reynor was up 2, it was 1-1, right, against Sarah in the semi WCS. It always feels like that. That wasn't a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, that wasn't a 2-0 lead, I don't think.
No. No, I really don't remember. And yeah, obviously what you say is correct. I mean, this is becoming the classic of 2020 at this point, because they've had a couple of absolutely ridiculous series. And maybe for Reynor, it's like a moment there as well. He's like, hey, I'm not the only one who struggles with Clem. Like, Clem is that good, because even Cyril struggles. Then, of course, you know, people can say whatever they want about the series. Maybe Cyril made a couple of uncharacteristic mistakes, and it's an online tournament. But in the end of the day, beating Cyril is beating Cyril. Cyril doesn't sign up for this and play for 5 hours to then lose in the grand finals, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, he doesn't just show up for fun, guys. He's like, you know what? I don't care that much. Cyril shows up and Cyril plays. Like, that's why Cyril doesn't play loads of online events, because he always wants to play his very best, and he always wants to show that he's the top dog. You know, and he always wants to play 100% seriously. So it's yeah, it really is a feat to take down Cyril, even if it is an online event.
I do gotta wonder right now, after this happened, do you think we're gonna see him again next week? Like,
you would say you can actually win one?
Yeah. I think like there's 2 arguments. Like, the first argument is that we will see him again next week, because now he wants to win it next week, obviously.
Yeah.
Because he's Cyril and he does want to show that he can win it. And the counter argument is that he was playing these games like past 1 a.m. and we know that Cyril is not a fan of like midnight StarCraft, even though it does happen at home Story Cups. He just wants stay at home Story Cup, which was even later. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll see a week from now, but I'm already excited, Wardi.
Yeah.
I'm happy he played, though. I think it is really awesome and very grateful to Cyril for showing up. And he still walks away with €150. Don't forget, guys, in this tournament, top 4 gets paid. The winner gets €250. Second place gets 150. So it wasn't for nothing. But we all know that Cyril just wants to win.
Well, right now, this matchup, of course, for an AOC monitor. Clem's already got one. He can get his dual screen setup going if he wins this one.
And like I said, a beautiful setup needs to have 2 of the same monitors. So I think there is plenty to fight for. And then, of course, Reynor. I feel like Reynor is kind of like he has his own personal competition within this competition. And that is like his own record, right? Obviously, last week, Reynor was able to defeat Hero Marine in the grand finals. But in the first week, Reynor, as the final boss, did fall against Cyril. And you don't really want to be the final boss who goes like 2 and 4 or even 1 and 5, right? Like, so for Reynor, this is also a big deal. He's fighting for the community, but he's definitely fighting for his own personal pride as well.
Yeah, for sure. Pretty sure Red Bull didn't get him as the final boss for him to just flop and give away a bunch of monitors, right? So
I mean, it is really cool for the community, but I don't think Reynor would want to serve as that sacrifice. He's like, no, guys, I'm the runner-up at the global finals. Like, I don't do that. I don't just show up and lose. Like, I'm gonna win.
As these Hellions gonna come down and they're gonna go for some Zerglings here. And they get a few as Clem just kind of pestering out on the edge of creep spread. I mean, actually quite deep on creep spread going up that ramp. But working out okay. Comes back around the bottom side. Nothing to find there. Trying to bait some creep teamers to build, I think, by going down there. And as he comes back this way, the creep teamers are building, but the Lings are there to protect. And Clem's been very, like he's really hunting for an opportunity.
Okay, and he gets a good shot there actually on these on these Zerglings, and all Hellions still survive. And that was so weird, by the way, in the last game, he had an interaction with the Zerglings, having like the 4 surrounds and still not getting the Hellions.
I know. I was like, I'm not just imagining it, right? Like, they were surrounded so many times.
Surround, Hellions get away. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. That's when we maybe should have known Sarah was going to lose. All the rules of StarCraft were just being bent and broken.
Yeah. If you get a quadruple surround and you still don't kill units, then it's bad. Man, these Liberators... It's amazing how well Clem still plays, right? After so many games. I actually find it fascinating how he's able to maintain such a high level. Because he's playing a very active playstyle here already. He's just kind of dawdling and dancing all over the place, and he's picking up a couple of kills here and there. It's nothing game-breaking yet, but if I was Clem, I'd start feeling pretty good about this game. Be like, yeah, I kind of like how I've been playing so far. He doesn't know about these Zerglings on the top side of the map, so there is maybe some potential here for Reynor.
Yeah, a little bit of a run by as Clem goes with everything down to the bottom side, so there's nothing to stop these Zerglings. They're going to have a great time. Clem's... Okay, he's actually got the Hellions back on this side, so actually it's not going to be as bad as I thought. Wow. The Hellions being there is absolutely game-changing, because this is going to stop this at about 5 workers lost and really not much else, right?
Yep, Clem is putting some serious pressure on this fort base. The Banelings didn't really connect with those Marines. The Queens somehow still... Oh my god. What? No, finally a Queen goes down. I was like, there's no way, right?
Yeah.
And it's still really good for Clem. I mean, he's just hunting this down. He's getting the second Queen. He's getting all of them at this point.
Now he just goes up to the high ground as well. So he doesn't get the 4th base. Oh my god, he comes back down for the 4th base maybe. Now he's actually tucked against the back, right? He's not going to fight it.
No Banes, and now even the additional Queens have to start showing up. Otherwise, this is going to continue forever. We just saw that happen on Zen, of course. We don't have any Miras. I mean, if you give someone like Clem a medevac and a couple of Marines, he's going to have a great time.
Marines behind this wall off as you see the Lings unable to do anything over there this time. He's really going for this 4th base. He gets another Queen now. Loads back up. Clem has been a monster with these drops today. How is he 30 supply up? 20, I guess.
Because he's just not taking damage at home. It's like you said, he left the Hellions behind, so that Zergling counterattack was nowhere near as devastating. And this trade, okay, he didn't get the hatchery, but geez Louise, did he get a lot of stuff done. And at this point for Reynor, I mean, Reynor is going to have to catch a break eventually, and I don't know how he's going to do it. Either a Ling run by maybe into natural, or a good surround, a bailing flank. But if this is just a straight up fight, Reynor is down and out, man. Reynor is firing up drones and Aspire, but Clem is right here, right now. He wants to dance more.
And the Hellions have been kept alive, so they're morphed into Hellbats. The only hope Reynor has is this bottom right flank, but even that only has like 4 Banelings in it. So I'm not even that much of a believer of this bottom right attack. I just don't know, man. Here we go. The units are going to start running into this. Clem's just going to pull away off of creep. Going to start splitting back already. The Banes that are connecting just are not doing enough. 40 supply up. Clem is going to go monster mode in his way in towards this forward base. And while these Zerglings going down, this hatchery in a lot of trouble. A couple Banes going down as well.
Clem is playing out of his freaking mind at the moment. Just winning 3 games against Sarah, and now he's playing an absolutely stunning, close to flawless game 1 against Reynor. He gets the kill on that 4th base. Eventually, these tanks may go down, but now we're off creep, and Clem can snipe a couple of Banelings, and Clem snipes all the Banelings. Are you kidding me, Wardi?
Someone once said to me, when Clem plays good, it makes him play even better because he loves, he plays off his own success. I feel like when you come back from 0-2 against Cyril to win 3-2, you just become unbeatable. Like, he's just immortal now. Reynor has picked a bad time to have Clem as his challenger. At the moment, Clem is just rocking this game. And, I mean, another attack coming, I just don't see it. I mean, Reynor's trying to build Mutalisks. That's not going to help.
No, I mean, he's down
Burrowed
30 supply. Burrowed Banelings. That is, like, the only thing, Wardi.
Oh, it's right on top of all the Marines! That might be it, as now he runs in with everything else. The tank's on siege. Marines will stem backwards. And Reynor finds an opportunity to keep this going. Did he just target the Banes again? No. I couldn't even see the banelings because they were under the medevacs. How did he click them?
I mean, off creep, this is still going to be hard for Reynor, but he does get very close and actually finally gets a good connection as he's also counter-attacking. I mean, there is already a planetary fortress. This is still disastrous for Reynor, but at least he hangs in there a little bit longer.
Keeps this going and, well, gives himself a chance, right? As he's expanding to the left-hand side in case this forward base on the right side gets taken down once again. So he's already given himself that secondary opportunity, basically. As we see some mutas flying in, Marines come in, intercept, mutas have to turn back.
I mean, that was good. At one point, Clem killed like 8k resources and only lost like 3.8. Now it's a little bit closer, so that shows that the last few exchanges were good for Reynor. But I don't know if he can really defend his basement. That Widowmine shot still connecting with Banelings as well. Reynor is still working with very, very little. But on creep, all of this is obviously possible. There's not that many Marines here. Where are all the units right now of Clem? Most of them are at home actually to deal with these mutas.
Yeah, Muta's trying to find a way in, and Reynor, well, he will be turned away. There's a Thor still left back at home. He finds a couple Widowmines burrowing, and they will connect. 2 mutalists go down. He at least managed to split one away to minimize the splash damages. Clem scans just to check how many Banelings are here. He has the Widowmine set up already. This hatchery will go down. Reynor doesn't even try to fight it, so Clem says, well, I'll grab a couple drones that are trying to run away. Gets the hatchery, and he will refocus his efforts, I imagine, back to the right-hand side of the map and towards that rich Vespene Geyser base.
Yeah, Reynor's actually supply blocked at this point. That's not something you see very often. And now at this point as well, oh, Banelings are gonna run into Marines here. This is really awkward. Oh,
yeah,
Widowmine!
Oh
my goodness.
No way, how? You know, usually I'm amazed that Queen's reaching things from so far away, but that Widowmine activated Queen mode.
Wardi, I can hear Todd right now. Look at the supply. Clem is actually maxed out. 121 army supply. He's on 5 bases at this point, and he's got 3/3 upgrades on the way against a Lair Tech Zerg. Yeah, Clem is actually not normal at this point.
Yeah, Overlord's going down. Widowmine's burrowing up, and I mean, Reynor's supply blocked. Just in case it wasn't already bad enough for him, he's now supply blocked too. He's running straight into a stack of Widowmines. At this point, I feel like Reynor just was ready for this game to end and just wanted a reason to thoroughly type GG, because that was not a high effort engagement. He just ran in. Widowmines did a lot of it. The Banes will roll through now, and they will get a couple of units, but nowhere near enough. Liberator sieged up. Bio gonna pick off this base. Middleist coming back over. They're gonna try and do something here. One more Baneling comes in. Yeah, okay, I mean, survives for a tiny amount longer because the reinforcements coming across now are really in some crazy numbers.
Yep, and don't forget that within a minute it's going to be 3/3 as well. There's not even an infestation pit. How often do you see games where Reynor can get an infestation pit up to start up that hive? Reynor doesn't really want to be stuck at Lair Tech, not at all. It's just that Clem is not giving him any breathing room at all. And at this point, I think we're getting very, very close towards the end, because Reynor can't possibly keep this up.
Yeah, for sure. As you see the, well, Bio's still just trading in. I mean, as Clem looks at it, right? He's just going to keep on trading out, and Reynor will never be able to keep up. Clem's on 5 bases very comfortably, 78 workers, and he's being pushed back because he runs out of Marines. He actually has Marauders that will run away from the mutas. But of course, many, many reinforcements still coming across the map, and Reynor will not give this up, but Reynor's also not exactly turning it around into a victory or anything.
He's just stuck. At this point, I think he's stuck. I mean, at 119 supply, you don't feel comfortable to drop an infestation pit and start up hive tech, because you're like, I'm gonna lose the game a minute later, or not even. This point, Clem just runs forward a couple of Widowmines. Clem is like, you know what? I feel like this game has been going on long enough. I feel like I've been so close to winning. He's got 112 army supply. And I love that he's attacking with 7 Marauders. He's like the pesky Reynor, always counterattacks. Yeah. I'm gonna leave 70 supply at home. I'm like, well, okay, Clem. Maybe you want to push with a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely feel like you can get away with a bit of a larger attack moving forward, as the mutas are going to go diving across the map. This Bioforce of Clem in the center, Middleists flying overhead. And he chases down Overseers.
Yep. It feels like the Widowmines have done miracles for Clem at this point as well. Reynor sees this base on the left upside and he's like, alright, that is simply way too much. I'm never gonna turn this around. GG. Clem wins this game too and is now 1 map away from not just winning his second Xel'Naga Finest, because he already did that, from winning the second show match against Reynor as well. I mean, this is, like you say, it's already an amazing rivalry between these two, but Clem wins here again? Ay, ay, ay.
Crazy. It's game number 2 coming up. I'm going to host this up on Golden Wall. So we'll see how this turns out. So we did have a winner for the AOC monitor, by the way. It goes out to Whipped23. So congratulations.
That is awesome. He's going to be a very happy StarCraft viewer tonight.
He is indeed.
Imagine, you can watch some Serral, you can watch some Clem, you can watch some Reynor. We had a whole bunch of other amazing players, of course, on the main stream today. We had Lambo, Gong Fu. You walk away with a monitor as well. Pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. You got to see Clem beat Serral in a best of 5, and now you get to watch on a good monitor again later.
You can watch the VODs on your brand new AOC monitor.
Yeah, exactly. That feels pretty good, right?
Yeah, this is the series that won me a monitor. Nice. Well, technically it was the one from
last week.
You can watch Reynor against Gabe. It was pretty good. That first game on Everdream was pretty good.
You could watch the game. You could watch Serral Clem and be like, "This is the last game of StarCraft I watched before winning a monitor." And you can think about how far your life has come now. You have a new monitor.
Exactly. And then you can participate in the tournament and you can play in the Xel'Naga Finest on your new ASC monitor.
Exactly.
And then you go all the way to the grand finals, you win it, and then you beat Reynor, so you win another one. Rather tough, but you know. You know what they say, Wardi? Nothing is impossible.
Nothing is impossible.
Just a brand new guy. Whip shows up next week and he beats everybody.
AOC monitor!
Yeah. He's like, man, I just wanted a second, that's all.
Oh, alrighty. Yeah, he needs a second, man. Match those displays. Alrighty. Let's do this, Roddy. Could be our last map of the day. Unless our blue Zerg in the bottom left can power up and win a game. And we get one more. It is Reynor from Clash.
And in the right bottom side, I don't know what this Frenchman had for breakfast, lunch, or dinner today, but whatever it is, he should eat it more often because he is playing insane StarCraft. We're representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. I mean, with that recent TSL announcement, I'm sure that people would love to see some Team Liquid players play incredibly well in that tournament, make some deep runs, maybe even go all the way. I think at this point, Clem, you know, definitely capable of going at least very far in that one too.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely going to be a favorite to qualify through in those European qualifiers, of course. Those start so soon, by the way, on Friday.
Yeah, Friday already. So tomorrow we kind of have like a chill day. I mean, I'm sure you don't have a chill day. You've got like a 14-hour broadcast scheduled.
I've actually scheduled myself just 5 hours. I'm
just 5 hours
I'm
tomorrow?
taking an evening off.
Ah, it's an off day.
Yeah, it's my day off. I still show up for Kung Fu Cup. Well.
But yeah, the qualifiers are going to be really fun, especially because it's double limb brackets as well. You know that I am a big fan of those double limb brackets, Wardi.
Yeah. This is cool first from Reynor. He's not running any risks against these proxy barrackses. So he's just going to be setting up that.
Yeah, the gas behind it was quite late, so I really don't expect any crazy follow-up here. I don't think Reynor is going to do anything wild. He's going to try to avoid the SCV, but that seems a little bit pointless because the SCV will see the hatchery anyway. Yep. So I think at that point you already know there are Zerglings out on them.
Yeah, for sure. You shouldn't really be surprised by this at all as the factory drops down from Clem on the main base. And he's just going to be building up very normally. He leaves the Reaper at home. The Lings actually start turning back around SCV. Just double check some of the hatchery positions, the base locations. Just trying to keep it around, and now he sees a couple Lings coming back over. And he's actually going to send his Reaper out, but there is actually 4 Zerglings which will move towards the front, and only 1 Marine here.
Yeah, I mean, this can get annoying. There's obviously micro potential in the Marine, but Reynor should be able to grab himself at least 1 SCV, maybe even 2. That Marine goes down. Where's that Reaper? It's coming up, but it's still quite far out of the way.
You can put SCVs in the command center now, though, so there shouldn't be too much else, and obviously you don't even really delay the CC, so this wasn't so great. Keeps the SCVs alive, and, well, once she lifts up and lets Lings in the main base. Get out of the way of my... get out of the way of my reactor.
Instead of just killing it, throwing down the grenade, yeah, why not?
Oh, these guys. You know as well, Clem's smiling when he does that. It's like, you don't get me like that.
I think
maybe
Reynor finally got an SCV, by the way, in the net.
Oh, yes, he did. He got 1 kill, and the next one nearly gets Reaper grenaded to death.
Clem is just showing off at this point. Wait, well, okay, he's canceling the bunker. He's like, I don't even need this.
Yeah, I don't think he believes in the fact there's going to be roaches coming over, right? So he's like, yep, no need for this. It's like, it's been delayed so long, you'd already have roaches here, so you know what?
Yeah.
Don't need it.
If there were any more links coming, they'd already be here. This bunker is pointless.
Yeah. Oh, 2 queens coming in, Reaper taking some shots, couple Hellions around in the center and continuing to the top left side. Gonna go for the little bit of poking and prodding on a 3rd hatchery, which isn't done just yet. And Clem starts with
I mean, if you see how far away the top base here is away from the main base, I wouldn't mind a little medevac drop into the main, actually.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate. I was gonna say a little bit unfortunate the Overlord sees it, right? Because it kind of gives up the plan. So now Reynor should be fairly aware of the potential Hellion drop. So it shouldn't catch him.
Did he see the medevac?
Well, the Overlord was in range when it came, when the medevac was there.
Okay.
I think.
I'm not sure if he actually saw the medevac or not.
I guess we'll find out.
Well, he's sending links to the main base, so I think he's on to something. I think you're right.
Yeah, I think he actually clicked his Overlord as well when the medevac popped. So it was like, he's definitely, I think he was like looking right at it as it spawned.
Oh, that's a great scout, and we can already see a couple of Overlords trying to find this medevac, and these Hellions, they will have a little bit of room apparently to get a couple of shots off. I felt like that was not supposed to happen. Now he goes back into the main base at the same time on the top side of the map. Oh, those drones are lined up, Wardi.
Yeah. He's gonna get some damage here. Gets 2 so far. He'll chase for the couple extra. Transfuse to save one of them. I mean, 3 drones kill. It's always funny when you see a transfusion to save a drone, because it feels like it's such an overkill on, like it's such an overheal, right? But it's
I actually classed it an insane ZVZ. I will not mention any names. The player that messed up was a little bit sensitive about it, but it turned into like a linked drone pool against, you know, just like a regular hatch first defend, and it got into this really awkward scenario where it was basically 2 queens, super low on HP, 2 Zerglings against 2 Zerglings and a spine crawler. No workers left. We do see this medevac getting under some pressure, and instead of transfusing the queen, the Zerg player transfused the Zergling. That Zergling still dies, and then both queens super low in HP die, and the spine crawler wins the game. And I was like, oh my god, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I couldn't script it. I couldn't make it up.
Oh man. What is it with spine crawlers and ZVZ lately?
Yeah, obviously.
Just gonna say, we do see that gold base being taken. Actually, I think it's worth mentioning what Clem did against Serral on this map, which is like he really tried to play like a long game, right? And took 4th base, didn't really push. Be intrigued to see if he goes for a similar approach here, because that felt so hopeless for Clem, really, in the game against Serral.
Especially because we have seen a lot of success of that 8 barracks build on this map, right? When it's 14, 15 Marines at once being produced. And yeah, that game against Serral, we saw double factory, we saw indeed that 4th base quite quickly. It was pretty obvious that Clem just wanted to play a very long game. And he never really got close to where he wanted to be. Well, we see a 2nd factory being produced again here, so could be similar.
Hellions on the bottom side, don't try and drop. As you see, Marines coming through and a bunch of creep teams being cleaned out.
It's important for Reynor that he keeps a couple of units there indeed in the main base, because these Hellions can still be annoying. They're gonna morph into Hellbats actually. This can become very frustrating, Wardi, because I don't really see a lot that can really deal with 4 Hellbats right now.
No, I don't see anything that can deal with 4 Hellbats right now. This Queen's gonna get the medevac at least. Meanwhile, there's Marines in the front surrounded by Zerglings. They're gonna lift back up. Yeah, a couple drones go down and a lot of drones go and running, but these Zerglings are gonna have to go into a horrible position.
Yep, Clem, oh my god. Oh, this is gonna be a barbecue of the century. You can't fight that.
No.
I mean, yeah, the Queen eventually gets some shots up. Reynor's in trouble, man. He is struggling too much to deal with these 4 Hellbats. That's a lot of lost mining time already. He's sending the drones back.
At this point, you could just morph them into Hellions and just chase them down, right? There's nothing in this main base. Queen's on the way over. He's actually just going to kill the spawning pool.
Oh, maybe the Queens can save it.
Transfusions,
no? Yes.
They're just too slow. They're too slow.
Oh my god, how often do you see that?
Yeah,
4 Hellions just killed a spawning pool.
I don't think I've seen that in professional StarCraft, actually. I mean, maybe once.
And that being said, at this point, by the way, Reynor actually can produce anything. The only thing he can do is more of his Zerglings into Banelings. That's the only thing that Reynor can do at this point.
Yeah. Drilling claws on the way up on that factory as well, by the way. So we do have a 4th base. Clem is going to play the macro game here. Up in supply. Now, Reynor has a lot of money to spend, obviously, because he's kind of stuck without a spawning pool. So, oh, and Clem didn't actually start 2-2 for a long time. Didn't realize that.
I'm surprised we don't see an additional building from Reynor. No infestation pit, no spire. He's just staying on the Ling Bane. Okay, there is an infestation pit. I felt like he could have done that a little bit sooner, right? Because he's been sitting on all this money for quite some time. And it's obviously important for Reynor to eventually get out of pure Ling Bane. Because Ling Bane is great, but Ling Bane of 2-2 upgrades, that's not going to beat Clem. Not the way that Clem is playing today.
Yeah, for sure. As we're going to see these couple Banes, 1, 2, 3 targeted down. I mean, was there any doubt that they would be? As the Zerglings have to run away from that. He needs to find more Banelings elsewhere, but the Banes are in the middle of the map trying to deal with siege tanks and Marines. Lings just ran back through these Marines, and now he's going to find a Morphing Overseer. This may be enough Banelings this time around, but there's a Widowmine that went off on Zerglings that dodged away. Well dealt there, well handled there by Reynor. Now Clem's dropping into a few Banes. He's still out on this bottom side, though, but I feel like he's going to get a little bit surrounded. He can run off creep to try and help, but yeah, I think he might just have to lift and get out with what he can.
Really good job there by Reynor. I was actually quite worried for him there, because he doesn't have anything other than Lings and Banes, and at one point, if you take a bad fight here, that could be it. And he was floating money on top of all of that. He is still floating some money, and I think that has everything to do with him indeed losing that pool earlier.
Oh, Widowmines just killed like 50 Zerglings on the top left of the map. 2 mines getting 25
dropping
each.
the natural.
Oh, 11 drones as well. Oh my god, Widowmines have just suddenly like cleaned out like 50 supply of Reynor, I swear down.
I missed that one because I was looking at the bottom side here at this fight, where I thought Reynor was doing a decent job in dealing with all the pressure.
Oh.
Not a big Widowmine shot there.
Yeah.
On top of all these Zerglings.
This
What is the unit? Again, this is similar to the other game. It's 3,000 resources lost more already. Clem is just getting much better trades across the board. He's getting so much value out of everything. He's playing at an incredible pace. And we're not used to saying this, but it seems like Reynor has trouble keeping up.
Yeah, for sure. It's yeah, it's it's obviously not pretty at all. As stemming forward, see all of these creep teamers going down. I mean, the thing is as well, it's not just Clem's getting good trades. He's getting good trades and denying economy, right? So Reynor's not even on this like mega eco to keep on trading out like this. I mean, these are much better attempts against these Widowmines, but boy did he need it, because otherwise he was just going to get overrun if he kept trading how he was trading.
Wow, there's a big drop, by the way, happening in the main base, and all the units of Reynor are quite far out of position. This queen is going to go down. Reynor still hasn't seen it. Now he finally sees it. At the same time, he's getting dropped on the top side of the map. Clem is just everywhere at once. He's getting a phenomenal trade against these Zerglings.
Oh my god. Killed so many Zerglings in the main base. Now there is a lot of a big fight going on across the map. Lings and Banes running in. He's got a couple burrowed Banes on the ramp, but Clem saw it happening, so he's able to protect himself there. Another a little bit of another set of Lings coming through as he does pull away. There is still a couple medevacs and Marines in the main. He saved some of them. As we're going to be seeing, Reynor has to pull away from this, but down 25 supply, he's in trouble.
Yep, no 3-3 upgrades on the way yet, no Ultraless Cavern on the way. He does fire up Adrenal Glands, but yeah, these fights have just not been good enough for Reynor. Reynor needed better fights, and it almost felt like that attack on the right bottom side that near the goal was a bit of a desperation move. It's like, I can't just keep running after medevacs. I need to get damage done as well to my opponent. But Clem really did not crumble there at all. Sure, lost a couple SCVs, but he was still getting better trades, and he's feeling confident enough right now to go in really deep. These mines, man, the mines are just making all the difference over and over again.
Yeah, it's really crazy, isn't it? Just how much is being done through those, as we see Marines and Marauders on the top side being lifted and saved, more units in the center of the map, and there is a run by on the gold base, so Clem is taking some economic damage of his own as he gets pushed back in the center, and the top side drop probably won't do much more. So Clem maybe losing out for a moment or two, but he's actually then going to find the Zerglings on the bottom side, and he's going to get half of them before they back away properly.
As long as Reynor can make sure to get some of the action on Clem's side of the map, then I think he could still be in it. Because right now it's just looking incredibly dicey. If he just sits back at home, he's obviously going to be overrun eventually, because the upgrades are going to kick in for Clem as well. maybe if Reynor can just keep Clem busy a little bit longer, Reynor gets a few more drones out eventually, Reynor gets his ultras out, then I'm starting to believe, but he needs to make sure that Clem is maybe even just distracted or chasing around Lings and Banes. Because if Clem just gears up for a massive attack at this point with a 2 upgrade advantage, I don't know how Reynor is supposed to stop that.
No, I don't know either. It's just getting a little bit too much, right? 3-3, 2-2. I mean,
You do
we're
have some
supposed to
barrel
Cabras
lanings
come
in the
in.
middle of the map on the top side. That could be very cool. You can see this Link counterattack. I don't think Reynor is even expecting this to do anything, but he's just like, give me some time, because that's all he needs.
But Demines find 10 drones on this top side base as well. There's a Liberator getting some kills over in the natural expansion. It gets killed off by Queens, but it's just that extra bit of damage. Reynor's below 60 workers. He has no money to actually spend to get any higher than 150 supply. He's not even got the Overlords to get maxed out.
And I'm really surprised that he drops the Spire right now during all of this, while it feels that Clem is about to try to win the game. I feel like, Reynor, you need to get every ultra out you possibly can get out. He's gonna try to bait him into those burrowed banelings. That'd be very cool. No, he unburrowed the banelings.
I guess he just needs everything he can get to help him out here. Clem a little bit of an unload on the high ground. Is pushed into this avenue on the top, which is very difficult to fight in his Reynor, because if you maybe come from the left and the right, there's very few places for the Terran to go, but look at the spread that he already has as these Zerglings start running in. Marines being brought into the fight. The Marauders in the front going to tank a lot of the Banes. There's just nothing from the left-hand side here. I mean, eventually maybe Clem gets overrun and cleaned out, but, well, actually, no, he just doesn't. 3-3. Just destroys. Wow. That was actually just brutal. That was way more one-sided than I thought that fight was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you have a 2-upgrade advantage, the Marauders, even if they get surrounded by the Zerglings, they just stand there. Medevac above them is like, what is up, you know? We can do this for a while. Yeah. And then the Marines have just too much firepower, and the Lings start falling very quickly. Man, I cannot believe the 5 games that Clem just played. He was down 2-0 against Serral.
I know.
Now he just went on a 5-0 run. 3 games in a row against Serral, 2 games in a row against Reynor. And out of all the Reynor against Clem series we've seen lately, this was the most one-sided one, I think.
I actually think for the first time in a long time, we actually didn't have a fight. I think it was actually just Clem. And yeah, Reynor stayed in it, but it was about Clem, right? Like, there wasn't a moment in these games where it's like, oh, this is Reynor's opportunity or Reynor's fight.